going on, Jeromes? So it's been a little bit of a tough road to hoe in the first two preseason games for the Minnesota Vikings, losing in Seattle 24-13, and then getting boat raced at home in the preseason home opener at historic U.S. Bank Stadium, 24-16 by the Tennessee Titans. And I understand, all you do is win, no matter what. It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning. Oh, the Vikings last year, 13-4, they were frauds. Look at their point differential. Fire everyone. The ship is sinking. Kevin O'Connell sucks. Fire Kwesi. All of his picks are busts. All of his trades are busts. Just blow up this rooster. Trade Jefferson and go from there. Right. And I understand where people have been starving for football for so long, and not everyone is down in the trenches with the training camp stuff. So preseason is what you see is what you get, and it doesn't even matter that most of the starters have not played, maybe even won't play. Who really knows what Kevin O'Connell is going to do? But this is what sticks out to fans, and I understand it's like the weather vane of what's going on, like taking the temperature of the fan base rectally. What is happening? But I will say that freaking out about preseason one way or the other really does not matter. Evidenced by the 2008 Lions, the OG winless team. So remember the Lions back when we played four preseason games? They were 4-0. And they're like, the roar has been restored. The roar has been restored. Dante Culpepper getting his roll on as quarterback. Dante didn't deserve this, man. But then they got just completely short. Also, how do you have a week 4 bye in a 16-game schedule? That's criminal, man. That really torpedoed their season. Also, what's such a bad beat about this is that the Lions' two closest games were, of course, against the Vikings. Week 6, they lost 12-10. How do you do that? Like, how do you just win 12-10 at the Dome? And then week 14, the Lions lost 20-16 at Ford Field. So, of course they were close. But we have 9 whatever reasons why shouldn't freak out about preseason. Actually, let's start out at number 9. It's effing preseason. So, spoiler alert. There you go. Number 1. How many starters actually played? So, how many of the week 1 opening day starters actually played in preseason? Ed Ingram played the first half or so of the first preseason game, and Ivan Pace Jr. has played both preseason games at middle linebacker. That's it. So the players you're going to be cheering on Sunday, outside of special teamers, you haven't seen most of the first team offense except for Ed Ingram. You haven't seen most of the first team defense except for Ivan Pace Jr. Haven't really seen a whole lot. All right, so I would not be sweating it at all. Now, if the ones had played, a series here or a series there in preseason and struggled, then you may have some veracity or some truth to your argument. But nah. Right now, tranquillo. Number 2. So, yeah, obviously it would be good if the second and third team units played good against Seattle's second and third teams, as well as the Tennessee Titans second and third team. But the second and third units are never going to play together unless poop completely hits the fan, or if there's like a player strike and then they got to bring in scabs like back in 87. The second and third team units are never going to play together. And I understand, like, during training camp, they play together. Yeah, training camp, enjoy practices. So hopefully you would have some continuity, some better communication. But it just really hasn't come together. And, yeah, it does suck. Ideally, you like cohesiveness all throughout your roster. But I don't think it necessarily screams the Vikings have lack of depth because individuals have looked good. So, again, if a second or third team player rises up to the first team, whether through injury, knock on all the wood, hopefully it doesn't happen, or their skills, I mean, it's going to be a one-on-one. Like, the entire second or third unit is not rising up to the ones, but Ty Chandler has looked good. Ivan Pace Jr., of course, has been fantastic. Luigi Villain, Benton Whitley, Jalen Rager, Theo Jackson, some of the cornerbacks have looked good at times. So I'm not particularly sweating it, and Lewis Cine looked good controversially against the Tennessee Titans, where I'm not really sweating it because I know that everyone wants to poo-poo everything, and it's so in vogue just to hate everything, but individuals have looked good. Has it resulted in sustained drives or ending drives or points on the scoreboard? Not necessarily at times, but reason number 4, Special teams has looked good. So again, like we said, how many starters actually played? The only units that are going to factor in during the regular season are special teams. So Ryan Wright, the punter, has looked great. Greg Joseph has looked good. Tanner Vallejo, the linebacker, special teams ace, has looked good. Najee Thompson, I mean, that's a feel-good story, man. Like, if Ivan Pace Jr. wasn't on the squad, Najee Thompson might be Mr. Mankato or the Earl of Egan. And that's something that you can hang your hat on. Where these like Najee Thompson, Wright, Joseph, Vallejo, these guys are going to be a factor on Sunday. Whereas second and third team offense, not necessarily. Number 5, first have looked solid in practice, first teamers. So offense and defense, now that matters. Where if it had been a little bit helter-skelter, or reports like out of Green Bay where the offense has lost 7 out of 8 drives against the defense, then you could raise an eyebrow. Then you could be like, okay, so the second and third teamers look bad in preseason games, and the ones have looked bad in training camp, but not so much. I mean, Flores' defense has gotten rave reviews of the complexity as well as the aggression. JJ and Kirk have reunited their chemistry. They look really good. KJ's look great. Addison has looked great when he's been out there. Hawkinson looked good before he got that illness. And overall, I mean, there's a lot to like. And the fact that this defense gets to practice against this offense every day and vice versa, iron sharpens iron. So I ain't worried about it, because the ones, I mean, yeah, they've had their down moments, but overall, you got to feel pretty good about what's going on both sides of the ball with the starters. Number 6. Oh, but Kevin O'Connell's 0-5 in preseason. Who gives 2 shits? Who cares? But they haven't won a preseason game since 2019. It really doesn't matter. Now, here's the thing. So preseason games are basically scrimmages with a crowd. And coaches like to work on a lot of different things. They like to work on situational stuff. Like, they'll go for it on 4th down where they wouldn't go for it in the regular season. They'll try different things. They'll try different personnel. They'll specifically call plays because they want to get a look at this player. Now, does that necessarily mean that they're playing to win the game, like Herm Edwards says? Sometimes not. And also, Kevin O'Connell hasn't been calling plays full time. Wes Phillips has been calling plays in the second half. So it really is more about getting experience for his staff. And, Brian Flores is, I'm sure, just completely dialing things back. That's what happens in preseason, man. But again, but Kevin O'Connell's 0-5 in preseason. But he won 13 games in his first season that actually count. And that's what matters at the end of the day. Where, hey, I will take an 0-3 preseason for 13 wins any day. Seems like a pretty damn good exchange rate. Number 8, holding back on play calling. So like we said, Wes Phillips has been calling plays in the second half for the offense. And also, he's been hampered by the fact that the second and third team offensive line can't block. And also the fact that they're running off the very basic vanilla template of the offense. And also, same thing with Brian Flores. Even though they've given us some sexy-ass looks, a lot of bluffs, a lot of feints, a lot of very interesting stunts playing games up front. That's the vanilla version. Just wait till we get to the regular season and we get the Es Muy Caliente full diesel version. Let's go. Let's go, man. And then lastly, it's effing preseason. There we go. Yeah, it is preseason at the end of the day. Now, starters could play a little bit against Arizona. Who knows what Kevin O'Connell wants to do. Maybe it's a series. Maybe it's a half. But either way, I feel perfectly fine. I am, again, the fact that the ones look good in practice, that gives me solace, that gives me peace, and the fact that who cares what they look like in the game. Second and third team guys. Second team guys will be playing special teams out on the practice squad. Third team guys will be playing in the XFL or the USFL. So I ain't really sweating it. Not really worried about it right now, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. 9 reasons why you shouldn't freak out about the preseason. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol Production Value.